Hey guys, this is Gunther here from Outdoorphoto, and I'd like to discuss with you what the hell Canon was not expecting this. Maybe a replacement for the EOS R, maybe a replacement for the EOS RP, but never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that Canon would be replacing the EOS R6 right now with the R6 Mark II. What were you thinking, Canon? So let's get down to the nitty gritty. Help me out and hear me out here. I've been mulling around this for quite a while now. We've got a 20 megapixel EOS R6 shooting at 12 frames mechanical shutter. So what's changed there? It's gone to 24 megapixels. Is 24 megapixels such a big difference? Yes it is. Looking at some of these images, they are super sharp. And you guys know that I love focusing on the menu systems. So looking at the menu systems, obviously the focusing system is one of the things that they have changed in this. They have adopted the system out of the EOS R3 and moved it across to a slightly adjusted system with eye detection, but now also incorporates right eye or left eye priorities or auto. So looking at the AF options or operations, they've actually brought back the AI focus. If a subject moves, auto switches from one shot AF to AI servo. It's not something that I would understand why. The servo functions have been working perfectly. Shape and form of the build of this camera, it's still very similar to the EOS R6 with minor changes to the R6 Mark II. We've got the new hot shoe adapter with the new connector points on it. We've got a little switch on the left hand side, which I actually love, is where the on off switch used to be. They've actually changed that to a stills versus video switch. Flick of a switch, you're from stills to video, no problem. Looking at the on off switch, as you grip the camera, you've got the on off switch on the right hand side at a very conveniently placed spot. So just to give you a quick run through, these things are always super fun when we have a look at these files, because it always seems like I have no idea what I am doing with the camera. But I'm going to take this image and I'm going to drop it into Photoshop quickly, and we are going to have a look at what the image quality is like. When we pull this thing, we're going to have a look at dragging one of these images into Photoshop, and just quickly, it's completely burnt, it's completely underexposed. But I'm going to pull this up by 5 stops. If we have a look here, I'm pulling up this exposure by 5 stops. The image quality out of that is incredible. For low light handling, if you have a shot that's underexposed, pulling out the details in your shadows, no problem whatsoever. This just opens up a completely new door. If you're out shooting wildlife, if you're out shooting weddings, if you're shooting whatever conditions you get into, if your shot is underexposed, it is not the end of the world. You have so much room to play off of these raw files, and that was one of the biggest advantages that I found. Looking at the image quality out of it all, absolutely fantastic. 24 megapixels is exactly what you would want for things like weddings, like wildlife, when you're shooting massive amounts of images. We're heading out to the roof of Africa, and I truly hope Canon will forget to come and collect this camera so that I can take this thing out into the field and go and run it for miles. The image quality is superb, the focusing is incredible, the video handling is so easy, and it's all because of the layout that they've changed on this camera. I mean, why? It just brings me back to, why did you change this? Why did you bring this out? Why, Canon, did you bring a camera out that I didn't know I needed? Let's talk about frame rates. So you're looking at 12 frames per second with 110 raw image burst. So that is about 9 seconds of consecutive shooting at max speed. If we're looking at electronic shutter, it ramps up to 40 frames per second. If we're talking about mechanical shots, 12 frames per second, it's 110 raw file burst before you hit the buffer. It is insane. It's still using 2 UHS II SD card slots, so you still have those dual card slots that you need in there. I mean, this camera is just popping out everything that is ideal for wedding photographers, action, sports, low light handling conditions. I mean, if you're shooting masses and masses amounts of images, you don't really want the 45 megapixel files out of an R5. If you're shooting stills, portraiture, landscapes, if you're in control of the conditions, or you have oodles of space, then the R5 is still my number one choice. But man, I would love one of these. So guys, I've got one thing left to say before my time runs out here. Get into contact with your go-to guy at Outdoorphoto and just get your name on the list for this thing. It is everything that I did not expect from Canon right now. It is definitely something to consider. It is definitely something that I did not expect. What the hell were you doing, Canon? Looking forward to what's next.